And here we are. Week number 2.
Back at it again.
Back at it again.
I thought the last time was just a fluke, but here we are.
We're still here. We haven't killed each other.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? No one's killed us.
Onwards and upwards.
I think we're in a good place. That's right.
I'm ready, man.
The hot box is officially back.
We are back, man.
I feel like we're really back because we're still here.
We're still here. Yeah, you're not getting rid of us that easy.
Ah, man. So how was your week, man?
It was good, man. I feel like I'm destined to get sick. I was literally in.
God, man. Should I even
Yeah,
should I have brought a mask? Jesus
I went
Christ,
from.
man.
I was in Denver this week for some work stuff, where I landed. It was like 32 degrees. I come home today to Vegas and it's 147. Like, it's just a recipe for disaster.
You might catch a cold.
Yeah, but Denver was awesome, man. It's a great place. You've been there. You've DJ'd there. Yeah.
No, actually, I haven't. No? I've never DJ'd.
I was
in
honestly going to hit you
Never.
up, too, to be like, yo, who do you know in Denver?
I know a few people, but
I don't know anybody in Denver.
DJ Jones is out there. I don't know if you remember him, but he's out there. They have a temple out there. The temple, same owners from San Francisco.
Okay.
So they have that out there, but otherwise, I've never experienced
Denver's dope,
Denver at all, other than the airport.
Yeah, the airport's different, but it's
gigantic.
Dope. It's huge. Yeah,
huge.
You got to take a shuttle to get to the gates, regardless of wherever you're at. It's
my God, man! But it's a lot.
It is, but Denver, the city is dope, man. Like it's super. It's clean. The downtown is massive. They got like this, like really cool, like hipster kind of good like food spots and like bars and like lounges and kind of thing. Yeah, man, really good. They got us. I went to like a couple places that had really good Mexican food, surprisingly.
Really?
Yeah, I was actually surprised.
They have good Mexican food in Denver.
They do. You don't want to eat sushi in Denver.
Why is that?
Because there's no fucking water anywhere around.
There's no water around here in Vegas, but the sushi's crazy out here.
We're closer than Denver.
That is true. That is true. But I always wondered, whenever they transfer the fish over or transport it over, to a place like here,
right? Like,
is it like really like that safe? I mean, obviously it is.
True, yeah.
We're still here.
But think about it. That's why you don't see a Nobu in Wyoming. You know what I mean? Like, he's not even going to chance it.
Oh,
you're not going to hurt my brand. Like, if it's not capable to be like plucked out of the ocean and thrown like across, nah.
I try to actually like peer into franchising a nations, but they will not do it unless it's like within like striking distance.
There's not a Nations out here?
No, there's not a Nations anywhere else but the Bay Area, Northern California.
Other than Westlake.
But the reason why is because everything is fresh, from the pies to like the the burgers, the meat, everything.
Huh.
But it has to like literally be a certain distance away from like their fulfillment center.
Got it.
So they can keep the freshness, which is crazy.
Interesting.
Yeah, I swear to God, man.
And that's
actually
crazy too, because Vegas has literally everything. Like every franchise,
other than the Nations.
They're opening a sidebar. They're putting a White Castle in Henderson, I think.
I don't like White Castle.
I don't either, but I got some friends that are from the East Coast. Big shout out to my brother Lex Jones. That every time we come to Vegas, this fucking guy and his New Jersey heritage, I'm like,
he just wants like literally.
I get it. It's like nostalgia is part of your childhood.
The box.
I'm like, Lex, we are in the fucking mecca of food. You got Gordon Ramsay's burger spot. You got Bobby Flay's burger spot. You want to go to fucking White Castle?
White Castle's trash.
I'm not a fan, man. But we're also West Coasters, so like we're biased because we got In-N-Out and
we might have blown the possibility of them sponsoring us by that.
That's all right. Shout out to In-N-Out.
Yeah, In-N-Out is
fuck out of me,
man. Have you ever gotten in an argument about In-N-Out versus Whataburger?
No, I've gotten into many In-N-Out versus Shake Shacks.
Really?
But I feel like Shake Shack, you can't compare it because In-N-Out is it's a fast food place. Like they got to drive through. Shake Shack is you have to go in and order. But I get it. It's like that. The East Coast thing is Shake Shack. West Coast is In-N-Out. But down south, people are Whataburger, right? Like Texas is a Whataburger. Yeah,
Texas.
Thing, right?
And bro, I have gotten in some serious heated arguments.
Oh, I bet.
Dude, it's insane.
I feel like people who don't appreciate In-N-Out or people who don't say, it was overrated or it was just okay, they don't know how to order right.
No,
because you can't just go there and order a regular burger. It's fine. It's a good burger.
Double with chili peppers.
Yeah, give me okay. Go ahead.
Oh my God, raw onions.
See, I do double animal style, no lettuce.
No lettuce? You gotta have the lettuce. The lettuce is fire.
No. I don't want a salad. I want a burger.
I have done protein style though.
Well, that's different.
Lettuce wrap, yeah.
That's different. But even then, like, yeah, double animal style, no lettuce, add chilies.
Yo, I'll tell you this right now.
All day.
The fact that you can get chili peppers on it. Did I tell you this the other day? Like, I've never known that.
Oh, yeah.
My entire life.
It's
Like
right
I was
next
like
to the
today
ketchup.
years old.
Yeah, that's right. They got them literally. Well, they used to. I don't know. If they
Well,
sell
no,
them.
ordering it like at the drive-thru.
Yeah, they'll put them on your burger for
Holy
you. It's a
shit, it's a game
Yeah,
changer.
it's the best.
Jesus
Because
Christ.
you know, like the burger is just like so fat and rich that like you need that little pickle like spiciness to kind of like
just like you like your women.
Damn right. Damn right. Got to cut through all that fat.
Fat and rich. Let's go.
I'll discriminate.
Oh man, I'll tell you what I did this week, man. I officially became a Nevada resident.
Oh yeah, that's right. You talked.
Oh
Yeah,
my
tell
God,
everybody
it's
out
weird.
there about the DMV
The
experience. in Nevada.
DMV is painful here.
I've been ducking it for 6 months.
It's painful, yo. You better get it done because I mean,
Yeah.
yo, if you get caught
I
like
have
with
3
like
times.
California plates,
3 times. It's unfortunate. I mean, hey, but I didn't ask to be
I
let
can't-
go. They
I-
just
I-
did.
I can't stand you right now.
I'm just telling you, that's what it was. I mean,
So like, look, it's $1,000 fine.
Yeah.
If whoever
Yeah,
pulls you over wants to fine you, But yeah, the DMV, it's really painful. I mean, I was there for like, I don't know, maybe like 4 or 5 hours.
fuck.
The crazy thing is, everyone was like, yo, you were there for how long? 4 or 5 hours? Did you get an appointment? Like, yeah, an appointment only literally enables you to be there for 5 hours versus 6 or 7.
Wow. Damn, that's depressing because I have my appointment coming up, but I've also rescheduled it like 3 or 4 times because shit just keeps coming up in life. But yeah, that's you. I mean, like, you got to think about it.
Get some games on your phone, man.
4 out of 4. Bring my iPad. I'm gonna just
Yo.
stream some Netflix while I'm there.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, literally, you can probably finish a whole entire series or something there.
Bro.
It's that long.
That's
but I will
crazy.
say this, though. Like, you know how when you go to, like, a DMV and everyone's always in a bad mood?
Yeah,
Everyone's always in a bad mood.
they're
Doesn't
the worst
matter
people
who.
on earth. Yeah.
Oh, well, not really.
Well, I mean, like, they're the most angry, unhappy.
There you go.
With
They're
their
not the worst
lives
people
and their
on earth.
jobs on
You're
earth.
very angry today, G.
No, you're right. I haven't slept much. I've been bouncing from time zone to time zone. It's I apologize.
I will say this, that the guy that helped me was super helpful, though. So I did
Okay.
wait about a good 4, maybe 3.5, 4 hours just to see this guy.
That's crazy.
His name was Bill. He
And
was
what
an
were you
older
doing?
guy.
You were just going to get your ID.
No, I had to get my registration, which is
Okay.
very expensive.
Yep.
And I had to get my driver's license.
Wow.
So, the guy that helped me behind the counter, like, he was really helpful. He was like super like on it. And like, like he was like, hey, did you move here from California? Yes, I did.
Yeah.
And he was just giving me tips and just like advice and,
Okay.
hey, this is what you got to do. And I'm going to look out for you because you are now one of us.
Wow.
Which was great.
It was welcoming.
Yeah, very
Which
welcoming.
is the exact opposite
Very
of
welcoming.
most people in Nevada when you tell them you're from California.
Oh, man.
They're
they
not
hate
happy about it.
Californians, yeah.
It's like, well, if you,
They hate us.
it's like, hey, bro, all we're doing is increasing the value of your property, man. Like, you're welcome.
But yeah, he was very helpful, man. And at the end, man, it was crazy, like, to see Nevada plates on my car because
You already
like,
switched them out.
oh, yeah,
Did they take your California?
they take your California plates, they take your registration.
Wow.
You have to surrender that. They hole punch your ID, everything. I don't know. I guess it felt rewarding though. Like when you see that Nevada plate, and I think it's crazy for me because, like, the California license plate is so iconic.
Shout out to Pilo.
Yeah, shout out to Pilo.
Great line.
California on his license plate.
Great line.
Yeah, there's no more California on my license plate.
Damn.
It literally says Nevada.
See, that's
but it looks nice.
I
which
get
is
it.
nuts.
They do have some nice options for plates, but I don't know. I think it's just like being born and raised in the Bay Area our entire lives. Like, it still doesn't feel real that like I'm out here all the way, and I think that's why I've been like ducking and dodging the whole DMV. Because
I'm trying to tell you, embrace your city, bro.
I
Come
feel
on,
it.
man.
I get it, but it's just like like. I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm scared of commitment. What can I say? Fucking 40 and single.
Oh man, yo, Netflix is actually really crazy right now. I actually went on a what is it? A Netflix spree. I don't know.
You went
binge.
binging Netflix
Oh
and
my
chilled?
god, have you seen Bad Vegan yet?
I have not. I've heard about it from a couple people, and a couple people have told me that I gotta watch it.
It's. I don't know what to think of it, man. I mean, the backstory is there's
give
this
us
chef.
set it up. Give us the premise.
There's this chef, and by the way, this chef is hot.
Oh, it's a female
Sarma.
chef. Okay.
Oh my God, she's hot, man.
Okay.
So like, she's hot. this and that. All right, but that's besides the point. She opens up a restaurant,
Okay.
and then she meets this guy online because like this guy is like tweeting like which Baldwin was that just got in trouble recently? Alec.
Yeah, Alec.
All right, so Alec Baldwin wanted to date this girl.
Wow.
He used to go to her restaurant, right? They never happened, this and that. But then, like, she started following Alec Baldwin. She meets this guy, like, literally in his mentions. In his mentions.
So they were both like fans of Alec Baldwin?
I mean, no, Alec Baldwin was a fan of her, but like,
Well, but I'm saying, but he was in Alec Baldwin's mentions, which is
he was in Alex Baldwin. Yeah, I mean,
first red flag right there.
big red flag,
There it
right?
is.
So they end up meeting. She literally takes it as like a form of credibility. They end up meeting and hanging out and this and that. She ends up marrying this dude.
Wow.
Ends up marrying
How long?
this
After
dude.
how long?
I think they were together for like, like 4 or 5 years or something.
Okay,
like that.
okay.
Right. 4 or 5 years of marriage, this and
Yeah.
that. But like this guy is never home. He's like saying that he's on black ops missions, this and that,
shit.
calls her like, hey, if I need money, you got to send it because like, yo, there's some real shit going on right now. And she sends it over $1.5 million worth.
Wow.
$1.5 million worth. But the crazy thing is to me, it's like, yo, she went through this for like literally like 4 or 5 years. And by the way, for people that haven't watched it, I'm sorry I spoiled it for you. But yo, like I don't get it. Like, yo, they just don't see red flags. It's like Tinder swindler.
Yeah, but see, the thing. So the thing that I didn't know about this story is I didn't know that they were married.
They were married.
So that does change it a little bit,
They
what
were
I mean? 'Cause
married
it's like if you
full on.
they vet. So you said they dated for 4 or 5 years beforehand. So clearly the relationship was vetted out to some extent, right? And then they get married, and that's what you're supposed to do for your wife or husband. You ride or die. If they need something, like if I ain't got it,
But
you
this
got
guy
it. Like,
was the same way, manipulating,
But that's-
swindling throughout
Yeah,
the
that's
entire
crazy.
relationship.
That's crazy. And so
From
what was-
day one to day.
And so what? He just divorces
900.
her and just never pays her the money.
No, they got, dude. I'll tell you this, all right? So this guy scams
Spoil
her.
it all. Fuck it.
All right, this guy scams her to the point to where like her restaurant defaults. Like, dude, she runs
no.
off with all the money that she has to pay all of her employees and all this other stuff.
Oh, wow.
So they're on the run for fraud, right?
Oh, both of them.
Both of them.
Oh, so he got her caught up in the shit.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Dude, caught up, man. But the crazy thing is they get caught
Okay.
because this dude orders a pizza on her credit card after they've been on the run for like literally like 9 months.
Dumbass.
Dumb as fuck, bro.
Wow. That's nuts. That might be like number 2 dumbest
Like
pizza
how do you,
story of all
I
time.
mean, how are you that smart enough to like swindle and manipulate somebody for $1.5 million and then you order a pizza, on a credit card while you're on the fucking run? What the hell's wrong
like
with
they
you?
don't track everything. Damn. I gotta watch it. Like I said, multiple people have told me about it. It sounds very.
I just told you what happened. So.
I know, but it don't matter because it's like it's a documentary. It's different. Like the story, but you just want to see the more in depth details about it. It's like watching like a biop, like Ali or Ray or whatever. Like the story, but you want to know more about it.
Have you seen other things?
I was gonna say Netflix has been on this like trend of like scam shows for a minute.
My God,
They got-
exposing everybody.
Right. Tinder Swindler was there. You got this one with the bad vegan, the Inventing Anna one, which was that
I haven't seen
Inventing
Anna
Anna is different because that one's it's a TV show, not like in documentary form. It's
Mm-hmm.
basically they took the events of what happened and then created a series off of it. And you watch Ozark?
Yes, I have.
So Ruth,
I love
girl
Ozarks.
with the curly blonde hair, Ruth,
Yes.
the crazy one.
With the top ramen hair?
Yeah,
Yeah.
She's plays the chick Anna in this show, and she is dope.
No way.
So you don't know like what the whole
I don't. I mean, I just spoiled
yeah,
fucking
well,
bad
so-
vegan for you. You might as
so
well spoil that for me.
Basically, this Anna chick is she's like from I think like Russia or Germany or something like that. She basically somehow wiggles her way into like the most elite like inner circles of New York's like most upper echelon people, like socialites.
And she doesn't belong here, really.
Not really, but
Okay.
to them they'd have no. So she tells everybody that she's like this German heiress to she has like this what is that shit called when you hit a certain age and then you get a shit ton of money?
Inheritance.
Like a trust. She has
Yeah,
a trust.
trust, okay.
She has a trust that's come in that like when she turns a certain age, she's getting like 68 million or something like that. So she basically gets her way into all of these circles. She stays at all of these luxury hotels. She's never really paid for anything. She meets these friends. She takes them on like luxury vacations. They go to like Morocco. They end up not paying for that. The friend ends up putting it on her corporate card because they wouldn't let them leave the country because it was in the Middle East. And like, you go to jail, like if they'll chop your hands off, shit like that. So the lady ends up like having to put like $68,000 on her corporate card. And that's like, but it's her story about just kind of how she wiggles her way into, like I said, like the most elite kind of inner circles of New York. She meets with like the top architects to do like this building process. She has like the top lawyers, like people that like are legitimate people, like couldn't see past what this girl was doing.
Wow.
And she defrauded apparently like the banks and the hotels out of like crazy amount of money. She was going on like, yacht vacations, kind of like a female version of Tinder swindler in a way.
Really?
But she wasn't like asking for money directly.
Well, let me
like
ask you this. Was she sending red flags like over and over and over again?
Was she ever? Like, I didn't get it. Like,
I think that's the pattern. It's like all these shows, it's like, you watch them and you're like,
yeah.
I mean, by like literally like episode 2, you're like, yo, I would have figured this shit out already.
And I'm not trying to be like, I don't want to sound like we're like we know more. I just feel like people in the Bay Area, like if you're born and raised in the Bay, like you just have like a certain level.
We have our fair share of scammers.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We're more hip to it, but I feel like people in the Bay, like there's like you're born with like a certain level of like game that you just know, like, you know what I mean? Like when shit is funny. So I feel like that, I don't know. I feel like these can only happen to like certain people, like, but that's the thing. They're targeted. Like they're looking for a very specific type of person.
Maybe they're low hanging fruit.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? So
but
it's like,
I don't think you could, like, there's no Tinder swindlers in the Bay. And if they are, they're swindling like all the like.
You know what? That's debatable, bro.
No, I mean, if they are, they're getting like
the
all
way
these,
my
like,
group chat is set up. I'll tell you right now. There's a couple of people in there that were no, they're not swindlers. But my group chat, hey man, did you hear this happen? This and that. I'm like, wow, I didn't even know that happens back home.
That's true. Well, it happens. It is a little bit different though. But wow, yeah. But Netflix, like I said, has been on this whole like going through like these scam shows, and they're popping. Like everybody's paying attention to them because. Like it's like, damn, the hustle.
Have you ever been scammed before? Ever? I've been scammed before, and I got a story to tell you if you have.
I got catfished like many years ago, like before it was even a term, catfish.
Really?
Yeah, this was on Friendster. So
you got catfished on Friendster?
On Friendster. Like before MySpace, it was Friendster days. Wait, was Friendster before MySpace?
Yeah, it was Friendster before MySpace.
Yeah, it was on Friendster. Yeah, it was on Friendster. Yeah, I got catfished hard on Friendster, and I remember like T-Mobile Sidekick days. But there was like this chick that I met on there, and long story short,
it wasn't a chick.
No, it was a chick. Well, yeah, it was a chick. The funny thing is, I never like got any like closure, like to see like what she like really looked like in person. I would talk to her on the phone and all that. Like it wasn't like the catfishes now were like, oh, how come you've never talked on the phone? Oh, his phone doesn't work. Like you're stupid as fuck. You've been talking for 2 years and this guy's phone doesn't work. Still, but this girl that I was like talking to on like T-Mobile Sidekick days that I met on Friendster, she like every time like I would talk to her about like meeting up or doing this or that, it was like the craziest like over the top stories, like, oh, I just found out my dad has cancer, then like 2 months later, oh, my little sister got kidnapped, like crazy fucking stories that at the time like I was just like, wow, this is some wild shit. But looking back at it, like seeing all these episodes of Catfish where like that's like the pattern, like they come up with these crazy life, altering scenarios.
These moments you can't really question.
Right. You can't be a dickhead and be like, fuck you, like let me see your dad's CT scan. You know what I mean? Like,
you can't do that.
No, you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, that I think that's in terms of a scam. I don't know if I didn't lose anything other than like time. Yeah. I didn't it wasn't like I financially lost anything. But yeah, I can't think of any time that I got scammed. I got a funny story about like my grandparents getting scammed because of me, essentially. But if you want to tell yours, I can table that one.
So I mean, obviously, I'm a DJ.
Yeah.
And this was like really early in the Serato days when we first started like using laptops and stuff.
Right.
I remember the laptop I bought was like, it wasn't like top of the line or anything. And I was like, you know what, man, this laptop's kind of a piece of shit. Okay. I mean, I got to get something new. So I go to the what is it? The gas station on Sycamore and Hercules Boulevard, I think, in Hercules. It's right off the exit, right?
Yeah.
I'm filling my car up, this and that. This guy comes up to me and he's like, yo, what's good, man? Hey, I'm selling laptops. I'm like, oh, word?
Oh, word. Perfect timing.
Wow. Dude, I was just actually telling my friend that I needed a new laptop.
Right.
Now, mind you, I'm like 22, 21 years old at the time, 23. And then, I go to his car. He's got boxes. Like it looks like he just has like
the MacBooks?
MacBooks on MacBooks, right? And then I go, yo, how much you want? I said, yo, for you, man, $500. I'm like, no way. $500? Like, yeah, I got you. I go into the gas station, go to the ATM, swipe my card, get $500 out of the ATM, go up to him, go like, here you go. And this thing is like cellophane wrapped. It's in a nice box. I'm like, yo, man, I just came up like a motherfucker. I even called Romeo Reyes at the time.
Right.
I'm like, bro,
get down here. Get
down here right now, man. They're fucking selling laptops for $500.
Right.
Now I'm young at this this time. You know what I mean? I go home. I open the shit, and I'm thinking I'm gonna set everything up, put all my music in this thing, everything.
Yeah.
Sure enough, I open it. It's phone books.
No way.
Phone books inside of a MacBook Pro box.
I've seen a lot of videos of that. I've seen a lot of videos of like people selling the iPhones that are sealed, and then you open it up and it's like an Android or something like that. Like I've seen that happen, but yeah, I mean, he caught
$500 back then.
He caught you at the right time though. You know what I mean?
At the right time. I was looking for a laptop. And $500 back then was a lot of money.
Yeah, for sure.
And I was like, I mean, at first, like, my first reaction was like, oh my God, I can't believe I got. And I actually laughed it off for a minute, but then like 2 weeks later when I needed that $500,
$500, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn.
Well, see, the thing too is that like, we've always had homies that would have shit that just fell off trucks too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I used to get hit up all the time by people that would be like, yo, I got a MacBook or I got iPhones or whatever. You'd be like, cool. So like, that wasn't an uncommon thing. It would just randomly happen at certain times.
Beats headphones. That was the common one.
All kinds of shit that would just, magically show up at a pristine discount.
Man, yeah. That's my scammer story, man.
Damn.
But you said you had a story about like your grandparents got scammed
real quick.
of you?
And I feel, I mean, my grandparents were home. Somebody called them on the phone and basically said, hey, this is your grandson. And then I think it was my grandmother at the time, she was like, Kevin? And then the scammer was like, yeah, it's Kevin, your grandson. I'm in jail in Spain, and I need you to Western Union me like $5,000 to get.
Is this like recent? Sounds like
no.
This
Was like
scam.
this. I was probably like 5-6 years ago, something like that.
That's recent.
Yeah. I need you to Western Union me $5,000 or whatever. My grandparents don't even think of like calling my mom or calling me to see if that was like a legit thing, which I love them to death for. My grandfather like immediately like hops in the car, drives down to the bank, gets the money, goes to Western Union, wires the money. On his way home from Western Union, after he's already sent the money, he calls me on the phone.
Hey, are you good?
Kevin! I'm like, what's up, Gramps? Are you in jail? I'm like, no, I'm not in jail. I'm at home. What are you talking about? Someone just called and said that you were in jail, that you were there for a wedding for your I'm like, I just saw you yesterday. How did I get to Spain so fast? Like, but I mean, again, I get it. Like, your grandparents love, they're like, my grandson needs me. I'm there for you, whatever. But luckily, my grandfather, because it was such a short period of time before, I guess, the wire or whatever had went through, he went back to the Western Union and essentially they reversed it or whatever, and he was able to get his money back. But
that's good.
But it's fucked up because people, like I said, people look for a certain target, you know what I mean? And they prey on older people and like
low hanging fruit.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
You know what I'm saying?
I get it. Like everybody's out there trying to hustle, but like you got to have ethics at least. You know what I mean? Like
I could never, ever do anything close or remotely to that. Like, just
it's like mafia
dishonesty.
Shit, you know what I mean? Like you go back to like the old school mafia shit. There's rules of engagement, but there's also rules to play by. You know what I mean? Like you don't touch women, you don't touch kids, you don't like there's certain like you guys out there preying on old people, like that is fucked up.
It's fucked up.
Like there is a special place in hell for people like that.
It's fucked up for sure, man.
It's what I mean? But yeah, I mean, I personally have never gotten scammed out of anything financially. But
You want to buy a laptop?
Right.
I'm sure we can find a laptop out here, Las Vegas Boulevard.
I'm sure.
It might be a box of like 2 or 3 phone books.
Right. Yeah. It's not going to be.
Do they even still have phone books?
I think so. Yeah. I haven't seen one in a while. I remember you used to get one dropped off at the house every once in a while.
And it would stay on the driveway for like at least like 3-4 months.
For sure. Like I don't know who's advertising in the yellow pages these days.
Oh man, are you big on Instagram still? Like, I mean, do you find yourself scrolling and whatnot?
It's definitely one of those things where you're like at one of these Las Vegas traffic lights that take 19 minutes to turn green, where you're like,
and that's why I'm late to this podcast.
Well, they don't know that.
Well, now they do.
Now they do.
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. I was late
today, people.
Yeah, I was super fucking late, and it was bad, man.
But I mean, it's one of those things where like I'll scroll here and there, but Instagram is so fucked up these days. Like,
well, they're going back to allowing you to use chronological order.
The way it was, like
the way it was day one, like literally you can only see the people that you follow. And it's like a little tab that you literally just like, you switch it, boop, and then all of a sudden you only see the people like, that you follow.
Okay.
And in the order that they
posted it. So I can scroll back if I missed something and see what happened yesterday or whatever.
So
yeah, Instagram's been bullshit. And I don't know. And I get it. Like they got their whole, but like, literally, I have friends that I feel fucked up for because I literally miss their posts. Like,
I get that all the time. I got a story.
Yeah, when I log into Instagram, I'll see like the first 2 things of that'll be somebody that I follow, and then from after that, it's suggested, it's an ad. Like I don't even like follow a crazy amount of people, so I don't know what the hell's going on.
The crazy thing about like how Instagram is today is like how it suggests content that they think you want to see.
Right.
So you end up missing everything that you really do want to see. Like I had a friend that posted the other day, said like, "Oh, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling better now, this and that." And then I go like, "Yo, are you all right?" She's like, "Oh, you must not watch my stories." I'm like, I to be honest, I don't think Instagram ported your story to me the last like 3-4 weeks, and I feel like shit.
Yeah, that's
what I'm saying. So
something happened. Well, hopefully your friend's okay.
No, she's completely fine now. But the fucked up thing is that like Instagram will literally pull these people out of your life for like 2 weeks because they think you want to see this.
So the thing and I don't know if this is true, and if anybody out there knows, or if we got anybody out there that works at Instagram. Actually, big shout out to JoJo. JoJo works at Instagram.
JoJo, what up, man? Can I get verified?
Maybe she can.
Can we get verified here? Come on,
something. But what I saw is that you basically have 2 views that you can do inside Instagram. The way that it currently is, and then if you want to go to the chronological order, you have to hit a following tab, and inside that following tab, you can create a list. And as of right now, from what I read, it's max 50 people. Who follows 50 people?
I'm not sure.
Everybody I know follows more than 50
people. To be honest, like, hey, if I follow a good amount of people, it's because I want to see what they're
That's what I'm saying. I follow people because I want to know what's going on. Like, I want to see what kind of I want to see what kind of content they're bringing to the table. But good segue. The Hot Box Podcast is officially on Instagram. So if y'all out there, you can follow us on there.
Hotbox_pod. Or is it the Hot Box _?
I think it's the Hot Box.
I feel like I need to know these things. I don't know why.
We just did it. Surprisingly enough, to nobody's surprise, there's like 847 accounts that have Hot Box in it. So, we had to get creative as much as possible.
Oh man!
But that's interesting, man. Like I said, I think it's been a long time coming. We don't need Facebook's algorithms telling us what we want to see. If I want to see something, I'll go fucking follow it.
It's trash. Their algorithm is completely fucking trash. Like I said, I feel like an asshole.
I don't think this is going to help us get verified either, by the way. But
nah, you know what, man? I've been trying to get verified for at least like the last probably a year.
Yeah.
I don't know if you see my Instagram because you never know these days if Instagram's going to allow you to see my content. Yeah. But I have people that impersonate my accounts and try to like scam younger little hip hop artists,
get booking artists and shit like that.
Yeah, like yo, hey, $50 for an interview, this and that, $200 for airplay, and I'm like, yo, fucking those services don't exist. And at the same time, you really think
take it from me?
Yeah, you really think I'm going to hit you up and say, hey man, you got mad potential, and spend my day doing that, just literally trying to get $50 out of you?
Right.
It's insane.
It's not a bad way to make some money, though.
Man, I think it's a numbers game for these people that
100%.
literally.
Yeah, it's like cold calling.
Oh
like
my God, man!
All it takes is that one.
And everyone literally will say like, "Yo, you got another profile up. You got another profile up." I'm like, "Yo, I can't even fucking keep up with this shit anymore."
Yeah, no, they need to. And I think, and again, it's big shout out to JoJo, but I think that like Instagram has like a formal review process now where you can actually like submit to get verified as opposed to just Instagram doing it for celebrities or you've already done it. Okay,
I do.
Yeah.
They ask you for all your press articles and all the other things that will create your case. You can even attach images, and I'll attach images of other profiles, at least like 5 or 6 of them, and
fake ones, right?
And then I still get the same message.
That's you.
Sorry,
you popping, B. You popping. If
Sorry.
you got people making fake profiles about you popping,
bro. It's disgusting.
I'm not
man.
there. I'm not.
And
there.
these people have the worst English when. I mean, I'm sure these people are from out of town. I mean, not even from out of town, out of the country.
Okay.
They have the worst English when they approach these people and try to scam them.
Yeah, it's bad. I've seen it. I've seen the messages.
Hey, you have potentials, bro.
Yeah, you have potentials.
You have potentials, bro.
Yeah, they don't use the full. It's a dirty game out there, man. People keep your head on the swivel.
Have you ever been impersonated before? Anything?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Painful.
I'm not popping. I'm not cool like that.
You're about to be now that you're on this podcast.
Nobody's trying to impersonate Box Kev. Like, what the fuck are you gonna get out of me?
No one puts up a profile, say sign up for my OnlyFans or anything.
Nah. Not a bad idea though. Could be another source of revenue.
Oh man, let's move on. So there's a new COVID variant.
Of course.
BA2.
What is this? Like the 8th one? 8.0. It's like an iPhone release.
They're even saying like, or at least like I've seen a few things that, they're going to not require, but they're going to suggest a 4th booster.
I've seen that.
A 4th shot.
I've seen that. I think it was Pfizer and Moderna have like filed officially for testing to see if like a 4th dose is necessary.
Man, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I'm just like, Jesus. I mean, we've already done everything that we need to do, and we are here again. And obviously, we're facing this new variant, and they're saying that it's now responsible for a huge percentage of the cases in America right now. So I'm just like, man, when is this shit ever gonna end?
It's not. That's the thing with viruses. They don't end. They mutate and they change, and they will be with us forever. And that's just the way it is. But we just gotta learn to live with it and hope that it doesn't continue to do.
I mean, in Shanghai, they're like locking down neighborhoods. Over this shit.
Oh yeah.
Right
if you got anything shipped coming from China, you ain't getting it.
Really?
No, nothing. You not get nothing right now.
No way.
No, yeah.
I mean, I don't buy anything, but
I'm
on
saying,
the internet from there.
But a lot of companies source from China, regardless of what it is. Electronics, clothing brands, a lot of that stuff is made in Asia, and all of those businesses are shut down.
So like Nikes are probably going to be delayed like they usually are.
I don't. Yeah, if Nike,
there's a lot of delays.
Nike has a factory in China, and that's where they're producing stuff. Then we're probably going to see delays in that stuff.
How do you feel about this new variant? Like, are you going to change like your routine or
no?
No, and I feel like a lot of people are just going to plow through.
This is one I was major like OCD, uber careful for the first probably like year and a half, and. I've done all the things that I can do to protect myself, and more so the people that I care about, my family, they've done the things that they need to do to protect themselves. So at this point, we got to get back to living. I'm not against any, I'm not against any mandates. I'm not against any, recommendations on what we should do. But at the end of the day, we can't continue to like live scared, and like I don't mean that. I mean
it's going to be. You said it yourself. It's
not
going to be here.
It's the same as the flu. We've been, and I don't want to say this is the same as the flu because I'm not one of those guys. But like the flu, which is a virus which mutates over and over, which is why every year that they suggest that you go get the flu vaccine, but they're predicting or guessing which version of the flu is going to be the most dominant of that season. So. Sometimes the flu shot works, sometimes it doesn't.
It becomes endemic.
Exactly.
That's exactly where we're going.
Hopefully that we're getting there, and like that's not like, obviously if we could have it anyway, we would want it to be just non-existent whatsoever, but that's just not the way that we,
For sure.
you know, that's not possible. That's not the way of the world.
I mean, I feel like, you know, for me, I mean, I do a lot of traveling just like yourself.
Right,
you
yeah.
know, I'm in places where there's like thousands of people at any given time.
No masks.
You know, and, you know, I mean, sometimes I'll wear a mask. Sometimes I won't. It depends on like, you know, the situation. Like, you know, I'm one of those guys that, you know, just like yourself, I was super uber careful.
Right.
You know, and, you know, I still am to a certain extent. Like, you know, I don't like even till this day, I still don't like being in elevators without a mask on.
I've just never been a fan of elevators, period. But
Yo, elevators in Vegas, yo, they're slammed.
Yeah.
And you don't know where these guys or girls have been and this and that. You're just like,
sure.
all right, look, whether or not COVID exists in this elevator, like I don't want to breathe in your breath.
It's like a
especially if
psychological
you've been at a
thing.
nightclub for all goddamn day.
And it's a
you know?
psychological thing because at the end of the day, like Vegas is wide open, and so
of course,
regardless if you're in an elevator with some. But I mean, like again, if there's a place where it's enforced, I'm gonna do it. Obviously, like the airports and the airplanes, which is rumored to be going away.
And
as
I don't
well.
mind it.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm gonna do it, like whatever. But it also is silly where, you know, like you get off the plane and then you go about whatever it is you're doing, and then you take it off and. I don't know. It is what it is.
The crazy thing is, I've seen like a tweet. I want to say it's Dre Sinatra. Shout out Dre Sinatra one time.
Shout out to Dre.
But it was like, yo, like in the airport, they tell you to socially distance and wear your mask and this and that, and then they
cram you on a plane.
They cram you on a plane like sardines, and you're just like, all right, how is this safer?
Well, that was funny too because the airlines were doing that, you know, in the very beginning where they weren't selling like the middle seat, or they would do like every other row or whatever. And then the airlines were like, "Fuck that, we got to get this bag." You know what? Like,
we got to get back to you know,
every seat,
making some money here.
Please put your mask on.
Yeah, man. I will say this, man. I'm very excited for when the 49ers play the Raiders in Las Vegas at Allegiant Stadium.
I'm Airbnb my house out that weekend for $5,000 a night. Any homies out there in the Bay Area, I might knock off 10%.
That is going to be absolutely just like
nobody's
going to be chaos.
Don't
man.
Bother asking me if you can crash. Fuck you. Go pay $1,200 for a hotel.
Oh my God, that's going to be crazy, man. Obviously, you know, we've seen how those games pan out, you know, in Oakland or in Santa Clara, you know, for that matter. They're always popping.
Or even Candlestick,
yeah, or even Candlestick. Right. They're popping
always.
You know what I mean?
Battle of the Bay.
Yo, Battle of the Bay in Vegas, though. My God.
And this is the thing too. Like, I don't know why it's different. Like, people always ask me, like, you know, why I don't like the Raiders. But then, like, when it's, I don't want to say like it's not that I don't like the Raiders. It's just different. Like with the A's. Like, I'll root for the A's as long as they're not playing the Giants. It's just different. I think physically because football is such a physical sport, and I think. Honestly, I think at this point, it's not even about the teams. I think it's about the fans. Like Niner fans and Raider fans, like it's just Crips and Bloods. Like we just don't.
They just don't fuck with each other.
We just don't
at
fuck
all.
with each other.
At all. I mean, I have like friends, you know, that will literally just like, you know, they'll troll the shit out of me.
Oh yeah, for sure.
About anything and everything. Raiders, 49ers, this and that, you know, and the memes show up, all that, dude. It becomes very personal.
100%. And it sucks too because it's like. You know, there's moments where I want to be like, damn, that's kind of tight for the Raiders. But then I'll have a friend who will immediately come text me some shit. And I'll be like, well, fuck you then. You know what I mean? Like,
dude, they're all like that.
Before I can even.
But it's like that on both sides, though.
No, I don't know.
It is like
obviously
that on both
Niner
sides.
fans, like, we feel like we're not like that. But, like, I have homies who I wanted to like literally text and be like, yo, bro, like the Devontae Adams trade, like that's crazy.
But they're already trolling you like from minute zero.
Like, oh, Debo signed yet? Like, I'm like, fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, I was about to literally hit you and say congrats. And then you like, you know what I mean? Like, give me the opportunity.
It's just how it is, man. It's how it is. It's the dynamic. You know what I mean? But that's what makes it a great rivalry, though, no matter what.
100%. And people, if you are going to do one thing next year that's like, because like for me, like I love destination football or destination sports, period.
But this is the destination.
This is going to be the one.
It.
I mean, and granted, like they'll play again. There'll be other games. But, you know, like the first one at Allegiant Stadium and when both teams are projected to be well, because that's the thing, too, is that, you know, the Niners and the Raiders, they very rarely are good at the same time. It's like the Niners are doing good and the Raiders are shitty, or the Raiders are doing good and the Niners are shitty. True. Both teams are, you know, probably favorites to win their division. The Niners and the Rams, hands down, and then probably, you know, their AFC West is stacked, though. I mean, you can make a case for any one of them. But, you know, the Raiders are going to be one of the teams that could easily win their division. So the fact that they're going to be playing next year in Vegas,
bananas,
man, we gotta make friends with somebody over there to start working on tickets, because
I'm already working on it.
That's going to be like Super Bowl prices.
Oh, absolutely,
it's going to be crazy.
Warriors. Yeah. Wiseman is out.
Big story that came out today. James Wiseman, our potential hopeful star center that we drafted last year. Young kid still. I think he's literally only 19 years old. He had the knee injury, which kept him out pretty much all year. They've been trying to rehab him and get him back. They got him to the point where he was, doing some rehab stints. He had played a few games down in Santa Cruz with the G League team, and because of those games, he had some swellness that popped back up in his knee. And, the Warriors at this point want to be kind of extra careful with it, so they've shut him down for the year. So we're not going to see James Wiseman this year. I personally don't know if it changes too much in terms of what the Warriors were going to do this year anyway. You know what I mean?
People were actually saying that they are probably going to win it all.
And they still very well could. Obviously, the Steph thing changes it a lot, but
if he comes back mid-playoffs,
and they're shooting for first round. If we can get him back for first round of the playoffs, and they stumble through a opening series, and say it takes 6, maybe even takes 7 games, but it allows the guys to kind of build continuity and kind of come together, they're going to be a problem. Nobody wants to play the Warriors. Period. Nobody. So
nobody.
But yeah, unfortunate situation for James Wiseman, man. Hopefully he can continue to do the rehab, continue to get back to being healthy, and we'll see what happens next year.
I've never been to a game at Chase Arena yet.
Well,
never.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's,
how long has that arena been there now?
That's not that out of the realm of like crazy. I think this is the.
For me, I feel like it's crazy.
No,
I used to go to
I had season tickets.
Third year, yeah.
I bought season tickets for
I used to go all the time.
I went the first season. I had season tickets for the inaugural season at Chase. Then the second season was COVID, which gave me an out to get rid of my tickets because the investment was really
And then
bad.
you bought a house.
And then I was like, yeah, fuck that. I'm buying a house. I can't be going back and forth for Warrior games. So this is the third year. This is the first year that they've allowed fans back in since the first year. But the first year, nobody was going. Steph was out. Draymond was out. Clay was out.
I want to say I didn't even recognize the starting 5 at all at points. I'd be like, what the hell? Who are these people?
It was D'Angelo Russell and whoever else. I don't know. They didn't do well that year.
Oh man, Golden Knights, they're a little inconsistent, up and down. It's like a roller coaster right now. You've been to a Golden Knights game, right?
I did. That was literally one of the first things I did when I moved out here. I think
one of the most amazing things.
And that was my first hockey game ever. I'd never been to a hockey game. Born and raised in the Bay Area. I never went to a Sharks game.
I never went to a Sharks game either.
And I honestly never really wanted to go to a Sharks game. But out here it was different because I feel like it's more ingrained in the community out here.
It's Vegas born.
Yeah, it's a Vegas thing. Well, San Jose is too, I think. But
yeah, but you know what though? I feel like when you live in the Bay Area and you see the Sharks, the Sharks are in San Jose and they stay in San Jose. They don't do what the A's or the Warriors or the Giants do and reach out to other neighborhoods and hot zips and all that other shit.
Wow, you said hot zips. That is such a radio term.
I'm saying, but it is a relevant term in regards to your marketing strategy, your outreach, and all that other stuff. I've never, I can't really even recall.
They didn't brand it well enough to where the Bay Area.
It's not the Bay Area's hockey team.
They are, but it wasn't like the San Francisco Spiders for a minute were more cool than the San Jose Sharks, which was a minor league hockey team that played at Cow Palace for a few years back.
I remember that.
I think it was the 90s or something.
What's wild is that I never paid attention to hockey in my entire life in the Bay Area.
Same.
But then literally when hockey comes to Vegas, all of a sudden I become a Golden Knights fan.
I will say
immediately because it's just obviously I've spent 14, 15 years playing on the Strip, so I've got tons of friends here, a lot of friends here.
So you're happy for them.
I'm happy for them.
They finally have a team.
Yeah, and I'm seeing how we are with the Warriors and Giants and Niners and even the Raiders and whatnot, how our people back home are with this team, and I'm like, wow. Like this is pretty incredible.
It's super cool. And, you know, like obviously the story and the tale only grew that much larger when their first inaugural season, they make it all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals. Like
we have to go to a Knights game.
I'm down. And you got the
I got the plug.
You rode the Zamboni. Like, bro, come on, man.
I got the plug, man.
That's like doing the air horn at the 49er game.
I did the penalty box too, like for warm-ups. That was fire, man.
That's a different experience.
That was insane.
I did get to do the Wynn Lounge though. The Wynn Lounge inside of the T-Mobile Arena for the game.
No, that's the Hyde Lounge.
Is it? You're right.
It's the Hyde Lounge.
You're right. It is the Hyde Lounge. I apologize.
It's pretty good. It's pretty dope.
But it was dope.
Yeah,
it was super dope. We did that, and that was cool. It's like, you know, for people that don't know, it's almost like you're at a bottle service kind of club event, but inside the arena watching a sporting event. So it was super cool.
It's kind of like the Wynn Club over at
that's where I got the confusion from. Yeah.
Same, concept, but I mean, the Winfield Club over at Allegiant is pretty fire, though, man. I've had the best time of my life, and I've only been once. I went to Pro Bowl.
And I was at the Pro Bowl, and I didn't get an invite.
God. Well, we didn't start the podcast then.
Okay. So that's what it is. Okay.
All right, man. So, let's switch gears. Obviously, we're both sneakerheads.
Super.
You know what I mean?
To a fault, really.
I mean, dude, I used to be a really bad sneaker. I used to buy everything.
I'll say before we like jump into where we're going with this, like both of us, you first. Why don't you provide a little bit of backstory on like how you kind of became a sneakerhead and where that affinity for sneakers really came from?
So the affinity of sneakers, or like my love for sneakers started literally at 340 Townsend. Believe it or not.
Wow.
At KMEL.
Damn.
I remember walking into the studio, and Franzen had worked there at the time, and Franzen always had heat.
Always
had heat.
Still does.
But there was one pair of shoes that just like really stood out to me, and it was because they were they were clean.
What shoe? Do you remember what shoe it was?
And dude, it's the most simple shoe of them all. It was the Nike white Air Force One.
Okay.
But he always kept them super clean, and I'd be like, man, every time I buy all white shoes, man, it's one wear, and I'm looking like trash already.
Right.
But I remember that like literally I was just so moved by like, how much care he put towards keeping these things clean.
Keeping the
Then I would see like other Jordans, like, Jordan 6s,
right.
Jordan 4s, Jordan 3s and stuff. So like I would be like, man, you know what? At some point in my life, I want to get a shoe collection like that. Right. I want sneakers like that.
For sure.
So it started there. And then, obviously all the other DJs, that worked there at the time, like, Glenn Oury and Ivan Rodriguez and all those guys, like they were big sneakerheads too. So I would attend mixer meetings at the age of like 16, 17 years old. And they would bring like what they copped to the meetings. And I'd be like, man, them shits are hard.
Right.
Like, yo, what the fuck? Like, and it was just a whole new world. That's dope. Like, I never, ever, ever seen before.
Yeah.
So once I started making money on my own, I remember I was like, yo, you know what? I'm going to start buying some sneakers.
That's dope.
And I've been doing that since the age of, I'd say 17 years old.
Okay.
That was probably when I bought my first pair of sneakers on my own.
On your own, yeah.
And then, maybe 16, But I remember it was a pair of Jordan... I think it was a pair of, it was the blue low top Jordans, you know what I'm talking about? But I bought them at First Step from Keith Okada.
Yeah, everybody.
Back in the Keith O.
Yeah, big shout out to Keith O, Classic Bowl.
Yeah, man. So I bought them at First Step, and I remember I was super proud of these, and then it just never stopped. Now I'm just like...
It's a problem.
It's a problem. Well, I had a really bad problem at one point.
Same.
I had like 700, 800 pairs of shoes.
Same.
And I had to sell.
I did the
same. I'd say probably like, I don't know, 3/4 of it.
Right.
Just to be able to move from the Bay to LA. Because I was like, I can't move 800 pairs of shoes. And I remember my friends going like, yo, why do you just buy anything and everything? Like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
Like, you got to like have a little bit more quality, like, in your taste rather than quantity.
Yeah. I like to, well, I'll tell you guys, I'll tell you my backstory kind of like on how I got into sneakers. But the way that I've kind of rationalized it is that to me, like sneakers are, yes, of course, like the purpose of sneakers is to put them on and wear them and go out and whatever and whatnot. But it's also like, it's almost like owning like a piece of art, right?
Yeah, wearable art.
Or even comic books. Like not all comic books are great, but you're not going to skip a release because, it had a shitty ending or whatever, you know what I mean? Like it's part of the collection. So, but yeah, so like my story on kind of how I got into sneakers is I was always like a really big fan of sneakers as a kid. But my family didn't have like the financial means to buy sneakers. So I got, I was Payless. I got all my shoes from Payless, all the way up until
XJ900s were still fire back in the day in middle school. I'd be like, yo, them things look just like Jordan 4s,
right?
man.
So I was always a Payless sneaker kid all the way up until junior high, and then I graduated to Mervyn's. So I went from I went from Payless to JCPenney and Mervyn's. So whatever 3-year-old Nike style or whatever that were like $34.99, like I would get those. But I remember, man, funny story, like when shell toes were like back and popping back in probably like fucking the early 90s.
The breakdancing days, yeah.
Payless had a version and there were 4 stripes. Instead of 3. Everybody out there knows about them 4 stripes. And my cousin at the time, he was like 5 years older than me. He took like a razor blade and like we would cut.
You would cut the 4th stripe out?
But the stripes were skinnier than the Adidas 3 stripes. So it still looked bootsy, but I was trying to fake it till I make it. But man, when I was like 15 years old, I got a job working at Foot Action in Serramonte.
Okay.
Which at that time was literally the #1 Foot Action in the entire company. And again, back then, Foot Action was shitting on Foot Locker. It's not how it is now. When I got a story about Foot Locker, I mean, we can get into that too. No, not a bad story, just but kind of about their where they're at in their business now. But Foot Action was popping. They had all the releases. They were the first company to start bringing in like urban streetwear brands, like
I remember that. I remember that actual Foot Action. Actually,
right? Yeah, that was.
I used to drive all the way from Walnut Creek when I moved out there for high school, and then go to the Serramonte one, the one that you worked at. You probably helped me at one point.
I was gonna say, when you were mentioning Franzen and Trace, I used to literally sell them.
They were the ones who told me, "Yo, this is where you got to go." All right, I'm going.
Because we were the #1 store in the nation, it would always go back and forth between us, Houston, and North Carolina. But when I was there, we were always #1, so we would get the most allotment. So whenever a sneaker would come out, we'd have fucking 300 pairs or whatever. And sneaker releases, as you know, back then weren't how they are now. There was no app.
Not even close.
There was no fucking lottery system. There was no raffle tickets. You went there on the day that they came out, and more than likely they would have your size. And if they didn't, you went across to Doomit's, or you went over to
this
First
guy
Step.
said Doomit's,
man, or you would go to Foot Locker. Like you would find them at you would
find them at one place or another. At one mall.
You could go into a mall, go to a few different stores, and you'd walk out with whatever pair it was that you wanted. So I started working at Foot Action when I was like 15 years old, and that was literally the first time that I bought a sneaker that, like I said, wasn't like a Mervyn's or a JCPenney sneaker for myself. And I bought that first pair, and it was game over. And what
was your first pair that you bought?
I think the first pair of Jordans that I bought was the cherry red low 11s.
Those are fire.
Those and the Columbia
Blues.
Do you
still have them?
I did not. So I do not.
Those are fire.
So the cherry red low 11s and the Columbia low 11s came out at the same time. So I bought those. And then from there, like I said, it was game over. And like you said, fast forwarding years later, I kind of tapered off a little bit from literally buying every fucking sneaker to trying to be a little bit more selective. And then, got into the whole, I'm moving to Vegas. I'm trying to save for a house. So I really backed off buying sneakers. And then it came to the reality of like, oh shit, how am I going to move 500 pairs of sneakers across the state right now?
I will say this, Soul Supremacy.
Yeah.
They are one of the most incredible stores
in
ever.
Milpitas. Yeah, big shout out to them.
They actually, I got hooked up with one of the owners, and they came to my house in Dublin.
And they just bought directly
from me. And they just literally stuffed the van up.
Yeah.
They took everything. They didn't care what it was.
Yep.
They're like, yo, we're going to take everything. We're going to pay you for what certain sneakers are worth. Like I had even Bread Ones in there and stuff like that. They paid me out like what it was worth.
I've sold a lot of stuff to Soul Supremacy. I've been there many a times where I had to load up a pickup truck or my buddy's SUV with all the seats down and sold 50 pair at a time, 35 pair at a time, whatever. And I've done it numerous times with them. When Kanye went on his bullshit, and I had when 350s were like the
every
first
Yeezy in the world.
Every 350 ever. I mean, Turtle Doves, Pirates, Moon Rocks. I had every single.
I still have all those.
When Kanye went on his bullshit, and I was like, you know what? I'm not fucking with Kanye. I sold them all, and I sold them to Soul Supremacy. And funny enough, the main owner of the dude you probably know, I forget his name, super cool guy. I think I just saw online that he's moving and he's not going to be a part of Soul Supremacy.
No way.
I think they're going to continue on. So, But yeah, that he'd be a cool person to talk to too. Like, cause they're kind of.
I mean, he's got stories.
100%. Because they're
sure.
They were kind of doing what Urban Necessities was doing beforehand. Like the urban Soul Supremacy's been around for years. But yeah, man, that's a great place to go in the Bay Area if you are looking to like sell some sneakers and you don't want to go through the headache of putting them online and dealing with the StockX bullshit and all that stuff. So big shout out to Soul Supremacy in the Bay Area.
Yeah, shout out to JC also at Urban Necessity.
Big shout out to JC, and that's a whole nother story too. We need to get into
that is a whole other level.
And that man JC, whether he knows it or not, like changed my life for a period of time, and maybe we could save that for like maybe next week or whatever.
We can get him on the podcast.
That would be dope.
I'm absolutely confident we can.
That would be dope. And real quick, let me go back to the Foot Locker thing that I mentioned earlier. So Foot Locker no longer is going to carry any, I think, like Nike or Jordan. Yeah, right. I
really?
think it was just announced.
No way.
Yeah, 100%. You can look it up.
How?
Got your laptop. Look it up.
I mean, I heard like something like to that effect, but I heard something to where it's like they're just going to carry less.
I heard it was maybe it's less of something, but I heard that they were moving away from carrying, and I don't know if this is true, so don't sue me for defamation if that is. But
hey, don't worry, there's post production,
right? So. Yeah, but I heard that Foot Locker will no longer be holding on to Jordan or Nike, which is crazy because
I don't know. Might need to fact check that.
Yeah, we'll table it.
Might need to. Might need to. Speaking of sneakers, man. I actually just got. You know what you need to start doing is start bringing.
Everybody, thank you guys for your time. I'm gonna head out now. Fuck you, E-Rock.
Shit that you copped, man. Like so I wanted to make sure.
He just wanted to kick me while I'm down, dickhead.
No, I'm not kicking you while you're down, man. I'm just showing the people what's available out there. So
they're not available.
They are, man. If you do your homework, they definitely are. So shout out to Concepts,
man.
Shout out to Dion Point. Shout out to Tarek. These what exactly is this actually called again?
It's the Air Max ones. The Concepts.
No, it's the new Concepts Air Max ones. But I forgot what the whole entire collection is.
It's a 3-pack.
It's a 3-pack.
Yep. 2
of them come in this box, and then the third one comes in like a really special box. I haven't got the third one yet, but I got these ones. Let me see. Can you start bringing like shit that you buy? Come on, because you buy a lot of shoes, bro. Let's see, what else do I got here, man?
Maybe we'll do a Grail episode where you and I will bring in our Grails.
Oh, you know what, man? I've got a guy that definitely that would.
I got
probably put us both to shame. Sorry, and I got these ones. These were the first ones that came out. But shout out to Concepts. Shout out to Dion Point again, Tarek, Drew, all those guys over there, man. It's probably like. I have never had my phone blow up so much for an Air Max ever. People were just like, "Yo, do you have the plug?" I'm like, "Man, I do, but I kind of don't."
Yeah, I got that reply, people. I got that reply. So
I mean, but we're trying to fix it. Yeah. You know what I mean? We're trying to fix it, man. But
yeah, Air Max Day is right around the corner. So there's always like some crazy Air Max 1s or Air Max 90s or whatever that are
the third, the third pair
comes out tomorrow. I think
it comes out on Air Max Day.
On Air Max Day.
That is. I mean, it's one of the most beautiful Air Max ones.
And then Sneakers has a release. Yeah, Sneakers has a release as well that they're doing. It's the same shoe, but I think it's like a white and like blue color. There's that, and then there's like an all white one that has like a hologram like Nike logo on it that's coming out. We might have to talk after this because I might need to get those. But Air Max Day is always fire. They always come with some heat, and that concept.
I think that are like the ones for Air Max.
That's the pack. That's the pack. I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna end up having to sell a kidney to get them, but I'm gonna find them. Might have to go see JC.
There he is. Speaking about selling your kidney, to get some shoes, man. There was a question that I asked on my radio show. We have a syndicated radio show that is also adjacent to this podcast. It's called Radio Basement. Mm-hmm. It's on 8 different markets across the country, and we had this topic that was actually really, really. It was engaging. Mm-hmm. I guess that's the best way I can really explain it. But the question of the night actually for this show was, should you get married if you are financially unstable?
Ooh. I mean, it depends on what your goals in life are, but I feel like a lot of people out there get married for the sole purpose because they're financially unstable.
to stabilize their finances.
Yeah, to level up.
That happens here in Vegas, by the way.
It happens everywhere in the world, man. Men and women been doing it for years. More so, on the other side.
Would you do it?
would I marry if I was financially unstable? Nah, I mean, I don't know. My mentality's different, but no, probably not. I mean, shit, I'm 40 years old now and I'm still not married. Like, you know, what the fuck, what's going to change lately? Nah, I mean, it's an interesting question. There's a lot of things in life you shouldn't do unless you're financially stable.
Have kids,
right?
That's one of them.
But like I said, it depends on like what you want to do with that marriage. If it's like, man, like I just love you so much and I can't not be with you, like let's just get married. Okay, then whatever. But like if the goal is like, you know, like let's get married, let's buy a house, let's have kids, like let's do, you know, like do it by the book, then, you know, no, you got to make sure that you
got to have it all in order.
Right.
Man.
You got to, or have a plan to see how you're going to get there.
I remember as a young little bull, like coming up in this game, I used to have this mentality like, you know what, man, I don't need a lot of money or opportunity or anything. I just need my girl, and I could live with her in a box and be fine. Nah. Down the line, I learned that was cap.
That's that definitely young mentality.
That was that young mentality.
Like, as long as I'm getting buns, I don't care where it's at. And then you get tired of fucking in your Integra. You're like, fuck this. Ah, God damn it.
Oh man, I've never owned an Integra, but in Accord, yes, I had a Honda Accord.
Made by the same people.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I'm Filipino. What else? You know what I mean?
I took my shot.
So yeah, you know, a lot of people are saying that, like, you know what, man, you know, if you can marry if you're financially unstable because it's all about love and this and that. But then I'm just like, you know what, for me personally, you know, I've always never wanted to get married unless I felt like I reached my full potential as a man in general.
100%. I mean,
you know what I mean?
I think that's the way it should be. Like, you know, I mean, like how they say, like, you know, you can't like love someone till you love yourself type of thing. Like, yeah, like I can't do the things that if I can't give my all to something, like I'm not gonna do it. Period.
Wise words from Box Kev.
I don't know about wise, but they are words. Yeah, don't listen to me always. Trust me.
Oh man, before we're out of here, man, you get any weird text messages lately or anything or no?
Just from you saying that I can't get no goddamn sneakers.
That's not weird, man. That's facts.
Nah, but man, real quick before we get out of here, though, I want to shout out to my brother, Big Body Cisco, who's in here hanging out with us.
Studio audience today.
Make sure y'all check him out. My man is killing it on the Twitch, Instagram.
Man.
He got all the
Love
funny
Jones
shit.
is my favorite stream.
Man, he's killing it. So big shout out to my brother, Big Body Cisco, in the building, hanging out with us tonight.
There he is. Yo, we got guests coming up, and I know we got 24 Golden on the way. What else do we have? We have Russ, that he's going to be on the show real soon.
Grammy Week's right around the corner, so you never know who's going to pop up.
I am going to be stuck in this studio the entire week, man. So
it's going to be fire.
Yeah.
I'll be stuck in Mexico.
There he is. All right. On that note, I think, we'll look forward to episode 3.
That's it. It's a wrap, man. We'll see y'all next week. Make sure you follow us at the @hotbox_pod, at DJ E-Rock, at Box Kev. And other than that, we'll see you when we see you.
Peace.